And I instantly recognized the shape. And I saw a body panel sitting over in the corner. I knew exactly what it was. So at the beginning of the year with Genius Garage, it comes up. I tell students something interesting is going to happen. It's going to be a great year. We're going to do neat things, but doors are going to open. We're going to meet neat people, and you never know what'll happen. Well, toward the end of the year, it was kind of winding down with the work and what I was doing with the students, and I was actually traveling out. When I was in the rental car, I was feeling good, almost to the track, winding along. Got a text message, and I looked at it. This is from someone I had known from the past, and I know that if I get a text message from it, it's real. It's a serious thing. But it was interesting. It was kind of long, and it said, "Hey, Casey, love what's going on with the students and what you're doing. In the next couple of weeks, get the big truck and trailer, get a bunch of students with it, and come to New York at the Monticello Motor Club, and Genius Garage will be given a supercar that'll make the Daytona prototype seem like a toy." And I'm just like astonished. I'm like, "Thank you, incredible. Like, what do you say? Like, it's so exciting. Like, when? Okay." So we find an opportunity that we can do it. So the students that I'm with now, we're working part-time. My wife is getting opportunity to go. She works full-time. And a few of past students were able to go as well. So we arranged a weekend a couple weeks later that we'd be able to do it. But of course, driving from Ohio to New York is a little bit of a haul. It's probably 8 hours or so. And we got a big truck and trailer. And some of the students are coming from Columbus, some from the Toledo area. And we meet kind of on the border of Pennsylvania and Ohio on that Friday night. And we're making a pretty good time. Ever since I got that text message through that moment, things like this don't just happen. They happen because of all the work and power and meaning that went to Genius Garage. So it's an exciting time. But in an interpersonal way, I felt almost selfish for guessing what it could be. Because I know that the person who texted me is not dumb. He knows cars. And the Daytona prototype that Genius Garage has, let me just spell this thing out. Full carbon fiber body, butterfly doors, incredibly crafted chassis, full racing suspension, adjustable sway bars. It's got a Dynon-built BMW V10, fully dry sump, 740 horsepower, sequential shift, 6-speed, paddle it is a serious race car. Seriously high end. For a supercar to make that seem like a toy, or at least just be in the same league and supersede it, we're into another realm. This is not just the realm of like Ferrari and Lamborghini challenge type cars. This is serious. And part of that too was I just want to enjoy this moment with the students. Like, something nice is happening. It's nice. It validates them and the program and all that. So here we are. The adventure begins because I'm getting tired. It's getting toward the evening. I think my wife and everybody else was around like, ease up, Mario Andretti. Like, you're driving something practically the size of a semi-trailer. I'm like, just keeping the roll going. I want to keep the momentum up. I didn't think I was going that quick. Apparently, I was getting it done. Anyway, we arrive at the magical Knights Inn, which is just as magical as I hoped for. It looked all right, and we go in, and the gentleman there comes up to us, and he's like, "Hi, may I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I called earlier, got some rooms. We just need 3 rooms for tonight. Modest rooms are fine." He's like, "We have no rooms." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not what they just told me on the phone." He's like, "Who you talk to?" And I'm like, "Sound like a little bit of an older gentleman." He's like, "Was it Alibaba?" And I'm like, "Is that his name?" I didn't say that. He's like, "If you have problem, you talk to Alibaba. You give crap to Alibaba." And I'm like, no. And so they're very nice. He's like, "Here, we get you coffee." And the students are all kind of like, what is happening? So anyway, we stayed and everything was fine. Had a really nice breakfast the next morning. It was fun. Really long. We're at a classic diner in upstate New York watching the Formula One race. Of course, me being a curmudgeon, I'm like, more modern Formula One, brr, like Jeremy Clarkson would also be. But they're all super into it and having fun watching the F1 race. So I'm just enjoying being there. But it's time to go. So we go to Monticello Motor Club. Really neat place, kind of like a private country club for families to do motoring things. Obviously, they got a road race track. They got a real cross karts, these really cool little dune buggies that you can race off-road, and just a lot going on. So people that wanted to donate this vehicle decided to arrange it there because it was an opportunity to get students and take pictures and do it in kind of a nice neutral place. So we go and everybody meets up, the students and people arrange, and some people from the track are there, and it's just a nice morning. After the hellos, we get led to a garage. We're walking to the garage, and we're lighthearted, we're excited. It's a lovely moment to be alive. And we come up to the garage door and I stop, and a couple of them are like, "Hold on, we're gonna go inside and open it up." And I'm just like, what is going on? What is behind this? And most of the students, they're excited, but they don't know what to expect. Now, One of the students, whom we were trying to guess what this could be, because like to make the Daytona prototype seem like a toy, like is this like a McLaren F1 race car or something? Is this like a Maserati MC12? And I'm like, there's no way. I mean, those are there's no way. Just I feel bad even guessing. And he said maybe it's a red herring. Maybe it's not a supercar. So the door opens up, and the car was covered. And I instantly recognized the shape. And I saw a body panel sitting over in the corner. I knew exactly what it was. And I didn't say anything. I just kind of smiled like, what? And I slowly turned around to the student that said it would be a red herring, because he actually, one of his guesses, if it was a red herring, was that exact car. And I turned and looked at him. I was like, and he looked at me and he's like, and so we go down. Car is covered. There's a photographer. We stand there and they uncover the car. And it's the Lotus T125 Exosphere, the car that was built to be the off-the-shelf Formula One car by Lotus for wealthy privateers to have fun. So just a detail on the car and what it's all about, which I'm sure there'll be more stories to come from this because we intend to race it and get it out with Genius Garage. So I'm really excited about that. But the car was done through their Formula One program. So it is, in all intents and purposes, it's their Formula One chassis, suspension, car, downforce. Since it wasn't within the rules of Formula One, they actually built it and it makes more downforce than the Formula One cars did. The Venturi tunnels at the back are astonishing. I think it was bigger than my first apartment. The idea of it is they were going to market this to high-level, super fit gentleman drivers. The problem was that Lotus built a car that was way too extreme for non-super athletic professionals, because they were, they're going to give you a physical fitness trainer and full crew support and everything. So the fascinating thing about it is they basically just built a Bond villain toy, like something that shouldn't exist that does, and it's insane. And that's awesome because now we have it, and it's perfect for Genius Garage. Maybe we'll call it e-build Genius Garage. So it's basically the Formula One car on super steroids in terms of its aerodynamics. And then what they did is, because as we know, Formula One cars, the engines are absurd. It's like an SR-71 Blackbird or like a early NASA X plane. It's so hyper-specific, and they only last so long, which is not going to suit the nature of this well. So Lotus was running IndyCar at the time. So what they did is they got with Cosworth, is largely developed off the IndyCar program and chassis. So this car was made to run 102 octane fuel, which is, that's simple, that's easy. And I have to find this out from Cosworth. I'm seeing a engine rebuild schedule of either 2,000 miles or 3,000 miles, which is a ton in the world of uber high-end racing. But the car still requires very specific care. Literally, you have to do maintenance on it every week, even if it's not driving. I'm not saying every week during the season. I mean every week of its existence. And it's currently sitting on the transport wheels, not the normal ones. And in January, I'm going to start building an area in a shop facility in Genius Garage just for this car. So it's pretty incredible, and it's right on the ragged edge of what is reasonable for a very bright, working together team of young people can do. It was marketed to be the push-button Formula One car for private guys. Yeah, that's not possible. What it is it's a Formula One car that was built to be a little bit nicer to work with. So it's slightly down on horsepower from the Formula One cars of the era. The Formula One car engine made a little more power, but it lasts a heck of a lot longer, and it makes more downforce. So we were given the mighty Formula One unicorn. That's people. The hardcore F1 fans will say, "That's not a Formula One car. You're not special." You're right. It's not. It's better. So there's the car. We're astonished. We're standing by. It's beautiful. It's evocative. It's everything every tech geek college student could possibly ever dream of, but would never in a million years happen, but it was happening. It was a really special moment. It was really meaningful because the people that were behind this, it was literally just all heart. It felt like the nicest moment you've ever had with your family, whether that's at a holiday or a birthday party or kids or anything like that. It was, the moment was honestly just joy for the people giving this to Genius Garage, as well as for the students to get to be part of it. And frankly, for me, I was still kind of beside myself. I was excited just looking at this. I can't say that it's Genius Garages now, but it's so amazing that this is happening because it's the pinnacle of the dream that you don't dare to dream. When I created something and I had that original set of, I'm going to set out to make the difference for young people that I never had, to help get them the mentorship and launch their careers. So we spent the next little bit of time. They went through all the procedures, taught the students that, fired it up for them. That was exciting, of course. Went through all the details, the manuals, the Cosworth books, the things from Lotus, all of the details, the lift, the spares, every single spare, everything that goes wrong with it, everything to fix, everything not to fix, everything that's perfect and where it's at. And it was just fun. It's like, okay, let's load this up. Because the day wasn't over. And then they treated myself and the students to just a nice day at Monticello Motor Club. A beautiful lunch with everybody there, and you saw families having fun, a kid having a birthday party, because it wasn't just a dude fest, it was families. It was nice. It was the best day I've ever had in the realm of motorsports. And then they were going to give everybody rides around the track and such. And I declined, and of course, students, you guys go have fun. You have your fun. And my wife got to suit up and go out in the car too, which is nice because she works really hard and doesn't necessarily get to have that fun. So that was exciting. It was just really meaningful. Sadly, a couple of them had to leave early, so they got to see the off-road and all that. But we had a really nice day. It was astonishing. Of course, we're driving home, and I'm like a little kid after Christmas calling people I know. I'm like, "You're never gonna believe." Somebody calls me and goes, "I'm dying to know, what is it?" I'm like, yeah, did you see the episode of Top Gear where Jeremy Clarkson tried to drive the Lotus Formula One car for privateers, and John Lacey was there, and he said John Lacey's fondling his genitals? Yeah, that's the exact car that we're donating.
John Lacey, who I used to hero worship, is playing with my genitals.
And the person goes, "They just donated a Formula One car to Gina's Garage?" And I'm like, yeah. Holy crap. Which is interesting because we looked it up, and from what I recall, Lotus made a few number of these. They wanted to sell a lot more, didn't happen. Probably had to do with why Lotus didn't do quite as well as they would have liked at that time with Formula One. But there was one with no engine that stayed with Lotus. There was one that apparently stayed with Team Lotus, a second one with an engine that's running, and 3, maybe 4, I'm getting the number incorrect, but forgive me. It was only 3 or 4 that went to privateers off. And one of them is now Gina's Garages in perpetuity. And the only thing that was said to me, they know who I am, they know the work we've done, they know what we stood for, and they know what we've done with students. And the directive was this: enjoy it in good health and have fun with the kids. Because they knew we'd do the best thing possible with it. But the fun thing was, the thing we came to learn, we were looking up the videos to see what is this car, what it's all about. So of course we watched Top Gear. We watched Jeremy Clarkson try to drive it, and it terrified him, and watched the Stig drive it around the track and set the fastest time ever around the track, except for, I think, a more modern Formula One car just beat it out. But would you believe that the car we have is that exact same car? Not one painted the same, but that was the one that Clarkson and the Stig drove on Top Gear. I don't know if I would consider that the biggest success in Genius Garage, because I'll always think the biggest success of Genius Garage is the students that get the jobs and grow. But it sure was an incredible milestone and validation of that original idea to make a difference.
We'd like to thank the Ticket Clinic for supporting VINwiki this month. When you get a ticket, no matter where it happens, you're risking points on your license, costly fines, insurance premium increases, and risks of suspension or jail time. So it's more important than ever to have great representation. The Ticket Clinic is a nationwide law firm that can help you fight a ticket no matter where you get it. It's easier than ever to start a relationship with them. You'll just take your ticket, snap a picture of it, and text that picture to 305-305. You can also reach them at the link in the description below to thank them for their support of VINwiki and fight your ticket with the Ticket Clinic.